This is the Kingfish coming to you at 96.2 FM. Anointed and appointed.
I imagine Candyman sitting in traffic, sweating and stewing under that heavy coat, while listening to the Kingfish imploring him to chill and have some gumbo. He is just aching to find the nearest payphone, frantically dial with his good hand, and proclaim across the airwaves, "You are not my supervisor." Like the gaudy, shiny beads one might receive via airmail at a particularly raucous Mardi Gras parade, Candyman's first sequel is glossy on the outside, but plastic and hollow in the middle. A few years before he became an Oscar-winning screenwriter-turned-director who balanced smaller, more personal works with splashy blockbusters, Bill Condon cut his teeth in the horror game like many other future Hollywood big shots. A continuation of Clive Barker's, nay Bernard Rose's saga, considering the significant locale changes the original's director dreamed up, wasn't inevitable, but the vengeful, scintillating spirit of Daniel Robitaille wasn't likely to rest when there are a million mirrors and a million more gullible non-believers who give in to peer pressure and want to impress their buds. The problem is, Farewell to the Flesh has little to contribute, and, if you'll forgive the pun, fleshing out Candyman's origins turns out to be unnecessary.
I watched the videotape of what happened in that room. Ray's body was torn apart by something powerful, and it wasn't your brother.
Are you calling my brother a pussy? Kelly Rowland might as well put down those incompetent New Orleans detectives because they're terrible at their jobs. The investigation into the deaths of the many unfortunates who crossed the path of a young woman with a deep connection to the infamous urban legend is marred by incompetence and regrettably poor plotting. She's constantly getting off scot-free from what should at least be regarded as highly suspicious multiple murders. Meanwhile, her own investigation lazily unfurls against a colorful backdrop of New Orleans and the many waterlogged weirdos who dwell under the Mason-Dixon line. Even when she's confronted by filthy squatters in her decrepit childhood home, she's unfazed to the point of catatonia. It doesn't help that Philip Glass's score is not only a rehash of the original, but is easily the most reminiscent of the one South Park so brilliantly parodied in their first Christmas episode. Useless characters like a loony brother and a soothsaying snowcone entrepreneur are just there to be slaughtered by Tony Todd's intimidating badass. The kills lack the visceral horror of the original, and despite Condon's direction being creative and full of pep, the story is never compelling. Only near the conclusion, when Todd is allowed to stretch his acting muscles beyond getting covered by bees and whispering creepy dialogue, does the tale become a bit more intriguing. Rowan lacks that spark of sensuality which Madsen had in spades. You really believe that she could be seduced and even join Todd as his victim, and he was both dangerous and exciting. Condon is too smart of a filmmaker for this material, which is itself too serious and either should have gone for campy extremes or a deeply depressing wallow. Instead, it opts for a middle-of-the-road approach, where scares are mild and secondary characters are insignificant and expendable. Mid-90s CGI morphs Todd into Tron, then the Terminator, and ultimately a Windows 95 screensaver. It's a mildly diverting watch, but lacks the intensity of the original. Thanks for watching, you jive turkeys. Plenty more scary stuff coming up, so like and subscribe and have a happy Halloween.